everybody, it's me, John Ward, and welcome back to another Reviews After Midnight. And I am recording this in my new place. So you've got a new background, and you can't really see it, but there's a whole office space here now. So this is really nice. I really like doing this. So I got plenty of room to move around. I mentioned this in one of my videos on my channel that I'm no longer stuck in a corner, which is really nice. So knowing that I wanted to do a Reviews After Midnight, I was actually kind of stuck on what to do. And I have all of these collections. When I moved, I set all my shelves up and I put the videos up, and I decided to take all my collections, as long as there's 2 or more movies, and put them all into like the same bookcase. So I was looking through those, and then I remember seeing this, and it's a 5-movie collection called Possessed by Evil. And it has Devour, Wind Chill, The Plague, Enter Sanctum, and Venom. I think it's Venom. Venyin. I think Venom. I think I'm saying that right. And I thought, okay, well, let me take a look at this. What looks interesting? And I thought, well, Wind Chill looks interesting. It's widescreen. It's rated R. It's got Emily Blunt, who I really like. I'm also a big, John Krasinski fan. So, and for those of you who don't know, they're married. So, and then of course they did, A Quiet Place 1 and 2 together. And I thought, okay, well, let me check that out. And it's 2007, TriStar Pictures. And this is like this. So it's got 3 movies on the first disc. This is from Mill Creek Entertainment. And then 2 movies on the second disc. And it says on DVDs and Blu-rays. Oh, I think this is just like, oh, here you can find DVDs and Blu-rays at millcreekentertainment.com. So that's what that's saying. So there is a description of the movie on here. There we go. Now you can see it. So I got my list like I normally have. So it says film title, and that would be Wind Chill. So I ended up watching that. And also, I thought, okay, it also takes place in the snow. And I love movies that take place in the snow, especially horror movies. It says, could you also include a star rating here? Well, I would say, out of 5, I give this a 3. And then it says, what did you expect from the film? I just wanted to be entertained, as always. I just want like a good horror movie. I really wasn't sure what Wind Chill was about. Is it a slasher movie? Is it a ghost movie? Is it an end of the world movie? I had no idea. I just wanted to be entertained. I like Emily Blunt. And what's interesting is that it kind of ended up being a 3-person film, really starting off with 2 people. And then they get stuck in their car. They get into a wreck and they get stuck in the snow up on this mountain. And it was like, okay, so this could be okay. So it's like, what did you, does it have a message? Well, no, not really. I guess watch out who you take these cross country or from state to state rides. If you don't have a car and you don't want to take the bus or the plane, and you see these notices where it says, hey, if you're driving to blah, blah, here's my phone number, give me a call. If you don't know the person, that's kind of the setup in a way. But so I just want to be entertained. What type of film is it? It's a horror film, supernatural type of movie. Does it have a message? No. So what happens in the film? So I'm going to read the little synopsis right here. And it says here, Wind Chill 2007, 91 minutes. That was also, a selling point for me that it's short. Emily Blunt and Ashton Holmes. So for the most part, it's just focused on them in a car. And then when the car crashes, it's them in the car and in the snow trying to possibly get back to this gas station that they, had passed a few miles back. So it says here, desperate to get home for Christmas, love Christmas movies, a college student catches a ride with a strange classmate. As soon as she realizes he knows a little too much about her, the stranger decides to take a shortcut down a remote country road. Caught in a raging snowstorm, the young travelers are suddenly forced off the road by a mysterious car. Stranded, they soon realize the cold is their least of their worries. So pretty much, yeah, that's what it would be. So it says, does the plot make sense? Yeah, I would say sure to a yes, because I kept trying to guess where the film was going to go, and it didn't go there. I'm not going to say too much about it because there are some twists. In some ways, this kind of reminds me of that Stephen King TV movie called Desperation with the psycho cop. And then it gets all like there's a lot of like Native American stuff in that and evil spirits. And this has you think at first Emily Blunt's character is a total bitch. And I would never want to be stuck in the car for, I think they said it's a 5-hour trip from the college that they're out to where they're going. And she is just not a nice person. And the guy that she's with is either just really shy or there might be something else wrong with him. So, oh, and this is, before I forget, what I thought was weird in the credits. So George Clooney and Steven Soderbergh's company, Section 8 Productions, supported the project financially. So that I found interesting. So it's an Emily Blunt film, and George Clooney and Steven Soderbergh, like I said, their company, Section 8 Productions. What else have they done? Let's see here. They haven't done a ton of movies. Ocean's 11, Insomnia, the Christopher Nolan's movie, Welcome to Collinwood, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, which is Clooney, Full Frontal, which is Soderbergh, Far From Heaven, a movie called Criminal, which is a remake of Nine Queens from 2000, Ocean's 12, oh, The Jacket, that's a good one. That's a time travel one. Good Night and Good Luck, which is Clooney. Oh crap, I'm having a hard time with the oh crap. God, I know what I want to say with this. I'm gonna skip it because I know it. So Rumor Has It, which is awful. A Scanner Darkly, which is Richard Linklater. Rumor Has It is Rob Reiner. The Good German, which is Soderbergh. Wind Chill. Ocean's 13. Michael Clayton, and The Informant. The budget of the movie is 200,000,085. And yeah, pretty much it just lists Emily Blunt, Ashton Holmes, and Martin Donovan as its cast, even though there are smaller like roles in the movie. So the question for here is, what happens in the film? Does the plot make sense? Is it easy to follow? Is it believable? So as far as a supernatural film goes, I would say, yeah, so what happens in the movie, like I said, is she gets the ride from this guy and they're traveling. I forget what state is she going to? Is it A student, so they're in Pennsylvania, and they want to go to Delaware, and that's for Christmas. Um, and it's going to take 5 hours. And he knows a little too much about her, and she finds this weird. In that he's like, "Oh well, I sit behind you in this class," and which he does, and they start talking, but he mentions things to her that make her think, like, how does this guy know all this? Like is he stalking me? What is going on? And he, admits to liking her, and so he's found out some stuff about her, and that, like I said, I don't want to get too involved uh in the plot because it kind of ruins stuff a little bit, but he's into her, and she thinks he's weird. They're driving, and she goes to the restroom at this gas station, and in there she gets trapped. The door's locked. She's yelling for somebody to come and help her. She finally gets out, and so we don't know if that's supernatural or not. And she sees some of the people that are sitting there, which are probably people that live in the town, so they're all kind of rednecky, and they just kind of look at her. And then, of course, she doesn't say anything to them, even though they're closest to the bathroom. But she says something to the guy, the driver, and like, "Well, why didn't you hear me?" And she's yelling at him, and he's like, What are you talking about? I didn't hear anything." And the guy behind the counter that's working the gas station, he's kind of in like the ending of a sentence, and then our driver cuts him off, saying like, "Okay, I got it." And they leave, and then like she wants to pay for part of the gas because that was the deal, is they go 50-50, and he doesn't want to do it. He's just like, "No, you keep it, I'll pay for it." She's like, "Well, that's the deal." And he likes her, but he does things in like a weird, creepy way. And instead of maybe just walking up to her in class and saying, "Hey, my name is so and so, would you like to go get coffee or something?" Instead, he does it in this weird, creepy way of this car ride. And when they're putting her bags and stuff into the trunk of the car, they leave a bag out in the parking lot because stuff won't fit in the trunk, which is like filled with junk. And there's a red flag there of some of the stuff that he has in his trunk. But they accidentally they forget the bag with food. And so they drive up. He doesn't stay on the main road. Instead of just saying driver, like what is his name in this? Well, his name is Guy. Emily Blunt's name in this is Girl, and Martin Donovan is Highway Patrolman. And so Guy takes a side road, which he says is a shortcut, and that's where basically this car kind of plays chicken with them, and they go off the side of the road, and the car gets smashed, and they're trapped. And what that ends up, I'm not going to say who. Martin Donovan plays a highway patrolman, and that's all I'll say about that. I'll say that this is supernatural. It did remind me of Stephen King's Desperation in a way, instead of being like in like a desert in this town in wind chill. They're stuck on this road up in the snow in the mountains. So they're different but similar at the same time. And they have to try to figure out how to get out of this situation, and weird things happen. They see things. They go to a Guy goes to a cabin that's burnt down. Girl, Emily Blunt, goes up a telephone pole so she can see about connecting into a telephone line. There's weird images that they see. I'll say this much: it's like a haunted road, basically, is what they're on, and they have to deal a lot with Martin Donovan with the highway patrolman. So they surprisingly, and one thing that kind of kept me guessing in this is, at first I thought, okay, so he is a stalker, and then he is, but he isn't kind of a stalker. He's just kind of like a shy, weird guy, and this is how he figures it would be the best way to actually meet her and get to know her, is to go on this trip, because he does end up lying about where they're going and that he's been there before, and she catches him in these lies of, well, the town you're talking about is 50 miles away, or this town doesn't exist, or no, it's a town, by the ocean, not in the mountains. It's So she finds out a lot of this stuff, and that he is, you know basically he confesses to her, saying, look, I like you, I saw you in class, this might have not been the best way to meet you, but how I chose to do it. And so he's not a stalker or anything, but he's just this kind of weird guy. But at first you think, because he takes the, probably should have said spoilers at the beginning, but because he takes this road, this like kind of side road, instead of just staying on the main road, you think that he might be, out to kill her, that he's going to take this road and then kill her, and that's kind of what she thinks. They do get she does get to like him, she gets to know him within these, it kind of takes place over a whole day. So it is like a one location movie, that it, for the most part, takes place in the car on this road. There is a bridge, and the snow is all around him, which I really like. And he already likes her, but he finds out stuff about her. She finds out more about him. And then I don't know if she necessarily likes him, but she gets used to him. She knows now these things about him, that he's not like this weirdo that she thought that, he was. So she does get to like him in a way that isn't like, like a romantic or anything, it's so, so there's a lot of them kind of bickering back and forth, about the crash and the car and the snow, and, you know, um, the car's leaking gasoline, and the battery will probably run out at some point. Uh, the side window of his car, because he's driving a piece of junk car, doesn't close all the way. It's open about that much. And so they have to tape stuff up there. There is a particular Christmas song, because there is Christmas music in this, that plays. So whenever the cop shows up, the highway patrolman, it is a particular Christmas song. And they start to realize that whenever this song comes on the radio, he's going to show up. And we find out this whole back history of the highway patrolman, about the different people that were that have come on this road, traveled on this road, and on this bridge, and why this cabin was burned down. And we get all of these flashbacks that deal with this police officer. And like I said, he's very much like the evil cop that's in Stephen King's Desperation. I did enjoy this film. So I seem to be stuck on kind of part four, on question 4 here. So 5 would be characters. Who are the main characters? Well, we got the two. We got girl, guy, and which I do find funny, because that's something that I would do in a script, is just name somebody girl and just name somebody guy. And then of course we get in the third character, which would be the highway patrolman. It says, what are they like? She's a little bitchy at the beginning. I wouldn't want to spend 5 hours with her, but by the end, she's a much nicer person. He's creepy at the beginning, and then we realize that he's just kind of this weird, awkward guy that's not going to hurt anybody. He's just a nice guy, but he's just weird and awkward. Who are the actors playing these parts? We went through that, that would be, Emily Blunt, Ashton Holmes, who he was in A History of Violence. He was in The Pacific, the TV show. Nikita. He's also in the series Revenge. So he's been through some stuff. And then, are they good in playing their parts? I would say yeah, because it kind of kept me guessing throughout throughout the movie. Is maybe they're going to flip it. Maybe she's going to be the psycho or something, and so it did. I thought that they did a good job with keeping me guessing throughout the film. What is the camera work like? The camera work I thought was good. I liked it. It's nothing outrageous, but we do get a lot of shots inside the car going back and forth between the two characters. So it's not boring. They're not just your typical standard shots. I like the outside shots of the car, driving. I like the shots of the snow. There are shots looking straight down on the car as it's traveling, or when it gets stuck in the snow, you're looking at it straight down. So I always like that. It's a wide. The presentation on the disc is widescreen. So you're getting a lot of snow. If the car is like here, you're getting a lot of snow on both sides and trees and stuff. And so I like the camera work in it. I thought that it worked well. I thought the directing worked well. And then it says, if there are special effects, what are they like? Yeah, it's a supernatural film. So there's going to be these ghostly images, and there's going to be other things like that. So I thought that was fine. Are there beautiful scenes? Sure. Do things pop off the screen? No. It's the film is very white, like snow. It's so there's not a lot of green. There's not a lot of blues like you would if you were traveling. If this movie took place in the summer. So there's a lot of white, which is fine. Are there moments when the camera was used in an interesting way? I think that the director and probably the director of photography knew that since this is a more or less a two-person film, that they would have to keep the camera in interesting angles so you wouldn't get bored. And I think that they did a good job of that. Did you enjoy the film? Why or why not? I did enjoy the film. Like I've mentioned, it kept me guessing. I like the location of the movie. I enjoy one location movies. I enjoy horror films that take place in the snow. I like the actors that are in it, especially Emily Blunt. I thought the editing and everything was good. So I enjoyed the film. What were its good and bad points? I don't really think that, because it was short, like only give or take 90 minutes, that I don't think that there were really any bad points. Yeah, I can't think of any. I can't really think of any bad points. So I think that the film was good. I don't think that there were any bad points. What scene did you particularly enjoy or remember? Why was it good? I do like the scene where Emily Blunt's character, Girl, goes up the telephone pole and she kind of slips from time to time. And as she's getting up there to see if they can get some sort of communication going with anybody, I guess, that they can find. I like that. I enjoyed the flashbacks because I thought that they worked for the type of film that this is. And I thought Martin Donovan did a good job as the highway patrolman. I thought that he did a good job. So, yeah, so that's the scene that sticks out to me, I think, the most. And I like, and this may sound weird, but I do like things like gas stations. I like when people film at rest stops and gas stations, and they always seem kind of gritty and kind of dirty, oily. If they're done well, you could almost smell the gasoline. There's something to me about filming at a a rest stop or a gas station or a mini mart that I really like when the camera goes inside, the place, and you can see all the stuff around it, and you can see you know depending on where the the gas station is, that they may be fully stocked on the shelves, or they could be almost empty, or some people have just weird stuff, like a taxidermy, you'll see like an iguana or a snake or something, or they could have snakes, in like the tanks. So I like stuff like that. So that is that's the kind of stuff that I like. So since they do spend time at this gas station, that also stands out to me. What scene did you particularly not enjoy? Why was it bad? I don't think there's any. No. Yeah, that goes along with what are the bad points. And no, I don't think that there really is any. Because that's, I could say maybe, just with how creepy the guy is, at the beginning, like, okay, well, you really went the wrong way about this, but that is talked about. It's acknowledged, so that's good. So, and then, would you recommend this film to what sort of people and why? I would recommend this film. Like I said, giving it a star rating between 1 and 5, I would probably give it 3. Maybe now talking about it more, maybe a 3.5, like a 3.5. That could work for this too. I would recommend this for people who enjoy supernatural movies. If you enjoy movies like, let's say, Steven Spielberg's film Duel, or you like the movie Breakdown with Kurt Russell and J.T. Walsh, that these one location movies where the filmmakers have to be creative in what they do to keep you interested, because it is just the one location. If you enjoy horror films that take place in the snow, I would say check it out. Stuff like Dead Snow, and there's I think even like a Wrong Turn 4. The beginning takes place in the snow. I would say anything like that, for people, if you enjoy those, check this out. I would recommend getting it on this. I haven't seen some of these movies that are on here. So you have like Devour, which is 2005. It's 89 minutes. That has Dominic Swain in it. The Plague, 2006, 88 minutes. It's even better. James Van Der Beek. Enter Sanctum is 2008, 88 minutes. That has Olivia Munn. I love Olivia Munn. She is gorgeous. And then, God, Vinian? Maybe it's Vinian? I don't, Rufus Stillwell is in that one. So, yeah, this is, I think, definitely worth picking up if you can find it. So I believe I picked it up at Zia Records, so you could probably find it used, or maybe off of eBay, maybe even Amazon. And then it just says, are there any other films you can compare this to? I just did. Excuse me. Anything that's like a one location, anything that's like a to like people being chased would be a good one. Like I mentioned Breakdown and Duel. Anything, even something like, I want to say, even like Stephen King's Children of the Corn, the TV one, the Sci-Fi Channel one, that's very close to the book, which is my favorite version of the Children of the Corn, because it matches the short story pretty well. That one has the two people arguing throughout it, because it's at the end of a marriage, and then they get stuck in the town, and then it kind of just becomes the town. And then so it's the two people driving, they get stuck in the town, and then they meet up with the kids, and they have to fight the kids, and it's got that bleak ending. This too also has a kind of a bleak ending to it, so it's not So I don't really think. I mean, they could, I guess, do a sequel, but yeah, I don't know. I don't, like I said, I don't want to say too much, but there you go. So that's my review. That's my review for Wind Chill with Emily Blunt. And I appreciate you watching this. Check it out. It's probably on Tubi. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not. But or pick it up on that collection. So that those films definitely seem worth it. I'll be checking out more of those movies on there, especially stuff like The Plague. I love End of the World type of movies, and that one sounds like it could be good. So yeah, I'll check that one out. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do next. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. But all right, everybody, thank you so much for watching this. I really do appreciate it. And let me know if you've seen any of these movies, especially if you've seen Wind Chill and what you thought of it down below. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you on the next Reviews After Midnight. Thanks. Bye.